Okay, we are now going to edit a quick little video here. I have my clips in the B-roll panel here. I labeled a couple of them. In effort to do that, you are able to double click on the clip. You can come here and you can play
Teachers
it.
at Woodland with distinct impact on the learning process.
Alright, and then I can label that like Kaylee Intro 2. And I can come to here and check this out, and I can hit play.
When you hear the phrase technology integration, what does that mean to you?
Alright, so I can label this clip answer to question 2. Alright, now I'm going to build a little intro. I'm dragging my clip down to V1. I'm going to increase the size of this. If you come down to your left hand corner, you have a list of 3 columns. I'm going to click on the last one and notice it expands our viewing area here, and I can also grab this bar to make it more pleasing to the eye. So at this point I'm going to drag down. Now right here, by default, the sequence goes to default 4:3, which is a standard non-widescreen TV mode. This clip was widescreen, and it's asking me if I want to change the sequence settings to match it, and I do, so I'm going to hit yes. And as you can see, it gives us a nice little widescreen output here. So, and as I scrub across here by grabbing this yellow arrow, you can hear that it scrubs the audio as well. Now if you want to turn that off because that's a bit much, you can come to edit, actually view, and then come down to audio scrubbing. The hotkey is Shift S. So we can click that right there, and now when we drag around, our audio does not scrub and annoy us anymore. So we're just going to play this little clip for a little bit, and right now this is called scrubbing. I'm going to start my clip right here because I like that. So I'm going to get my razor blade tool by coming over here and clicking. I can also move my mouse over it and let it sit there for a bit, and it pops up, and as you can see, razor blade tool, and then it has a letter B next to it. So if I want to, I could just hit B. As you can see right now, it's an arrow. And my hotkeys are working in this window because it's got a light silver color to it. If I came up here and selected that, then my hotkeys would be working in this window. But now I'm going to come down here and click on that to engage this window, and now I'm going to hit B, and now my razor blade popped up. So I can click, and the hotkey, or to select your selector arrow, you can come over here. But the hotkey for that is A. And so now I'll select that clip, and you just hit your delete button, preferably the one that's called the backspace button on your traditional keyboard. And I hit that and it goes away. Now another feature that is beneficial is showing video film strips, and in your left hand bottom corner here you have an arrow pointing to the right. I click on that and click on show video film strips, and it kind of gives us a nice little preview so we know what we're dealing with. You can also click on this arrow and show audio waveforms, which shows us our audio levels. So now we have a nice little clip of some B-roll here playing. And boom. We're just gonna like snip that off. We just wanted a little bit of eye candy to start this off with. And now we're gonna come up to our clip panel, and I'm gonna click and drag my second clip down here, and notice now if I go above this little line, which is near my mouse, you can see my arrow pointing down, and then I go up and it points to the right. If I want my clip to stay exactly where it is when I'm placing it. I want it to go point down. If it points to the right, that's called an insert edit, and I'll show you how that works in a second. So we're going to point it straight down so it drops in right where we want it. And as you can see, we have some various areas here. I like to use my audio when editing. It kind of lets me know what I'm dealing with. So I'm going to hit B, and I'm just going to go ahead and drop cuts right here where I can kind of visually see where my major parts of the clips are that I would like to use. Got a little clip here as well. We're going to remove this parts in between. And now to close gaps, I can just click and then hit my delete button, and it pulls my clips close together without me having to, do craziness like rubber band both of them and move them around as such. So we're just going to do this real quick, and then I'll have a couple examples that you might be able to use should you choose for student projects later on. So I click here.
Woodland High School is a large rural high school in northwest Georgia that serves about 1,800 students from
As you
varied
can see over here, we have our audio
backgrounds.
meters. Those should never clip.
Students from varied socioeconomic backgrounds.
Alright, and you can click along here wherever you like to cue your playhead, which is this yellow triangle, to make the editing process faster and more efficient.
By teachers at Woodland with distinct impact on the learning process.
Alright, so we're just going to throw together a little intro there. We have a couple clips there. To apply transitions, you come up here in your left hand corner and you have an effects tab, and under here we have a list of items. I'm going to drop down the arrow for video transitions, and we're just going to work with traditional dissolves today. So we have dip to color, we have a traditional fade in and fade out. So to apply a transition, you grab the transition and you place it on your clip. And notice how it kind of grabs on, and I pull to the right and it makes it larger. That's a good technique right there. You can also, should you need to, you can zoom in closer by hitting Command and plus, and see how that zooms in and it corresponds to where my line is. So now I can cue.
Woodland High School is a large rural...
Alright, we can also fade our audio out at this point because kind of abruptly cut off there. So we're going to drop down our audio transition window, and we're going to grab the 0 dB one, and just like a video clip, we are going to place it on the video track, and that is playing not nice. So I'm going to snip a little bit off here. Okay, so we're going to fade our audio out here by grabbing, notice I grab my transition. It's located under audio transitions here. Drop that down again so you can see that, and then we click and we pull it down here just like we're dealing with the video transition, and boom, you see how it's large. We place it there, and we're going to place a fade out on that clip. There we go. And now we have a little gap, and to get rid of that we just click, hit delete, and boom, and it's gone. So now we can cue back.
Woodland High School is a large rural high school in northwest Georgia that serves about 1,800 students from varied socioeconomic backgrounds.
Okay. Alright, so we have a little bit of dead space there that we want to get rid of to keep continuity intact. So I'm using my space bar to play and stop because that is a nice way to do it. I can also
technology is used in different ways.
Use my transport controls up here, but that's kind of a long way to go when you're in the editing flow. So we're going to hit B again because that's our hotkey for cutting. And I drop a cut on my line and snapping. Notice how it kind of grabs a hold of it. And then I will hit A, and I will select this clip and I will get rid of it. So I will close that gap and cue back.
Technology is used.
And we'll snip this a little bit closer. Alright, so we have our little opening statement here, which
Backgrounds. Technology is used in different ways by teachers at Woodland.